Welcome to My Zone Online School. My name is Teacher Mutsa. Get your education booklet in our daily newspaper, street sales, or at your school every Monday to Thursday for pre-primary up until grade 3. The lessons are for listening or watching online. Inside the newspapers, there is an insert of the lesson booklet. Please cut the top of the lesson booklet with a pair of scissors and fold it for ready to use. But there is more. We are also available on our online platforms, MyZone and Zoshi Facebook pages, and in addition, our website, Zoshi Online. Hello grade 3s and welcome to My Zone Online School. My name is Teacher Mutsa and thank you so much for joining me today. Our theme this week is spring and animal conservation. And before we get into any lessons, boys and girls, we know that we need to sanitize. So let's take our sanitizer and thoroughly sanitize our hands. Remember, we sanitize to make sure that everyone around us is safe. So sanitize as regularly as possible. Make sure your hands are dry before you touch anything else. For today's lesson, we will be doing vocabulary, computation, number concept, and development. Now, boys and girls, let us start our lesson by going to page 3. On page 3, we're going to be doing our vocabulary words. Remember, vocabulary words are words that we often see but maybe not use. And some of them are actually quite new to us. So it's important for us to learn new words to broaden our vocabulary. Today, we have the following words that we are going to learn how to use, what they mean, and to use them in a sentence. We have the words grow, blossom, butterflies, spring, and weather. Now, some of them you already know and others you're hearing for the first time. So let's take a look at the words and what they mean. The word grow means something is increasing in size, meaning it's moving from a small item to a bigger item. Often, when something grows, it actually changes in appearance as well. The word blossom means to produce flowers in a large group. So, one flower can blossom, but then we can use the word grow. When there are many flowers, we can use blossom. Butterflies are little creatures called insects, and they are there every time spring starts. So do the butterflies. They come out as well. Then we have the word spring. Now, spring is a season. Just like we have summer and winter, we also have spring and autumn. Each season is different, and we're going to be learning more about spring as the week goes on. Then the last word is the word weather. Now, weather is the state of the environment outside, which means the condition. Is it hot? Is it cold? Is it windy? And weather changes very often. In one day, it can be sunny in the morning and cold in the evening. So these are our words, and we have just read them and understood what each one means. Now our job is very simple. We're going to start by writing them again. Remember, grade 3s, when we are writing, let's keep a nice, neat handwriting. So, shape your letters correctly and make each letter the same size. After that, you're going to now be doing sentences. So I have a few sentences on the board and I'd like you to read them with me. Let's take a look at the sentences. Now, as you know, we have the words that we were talking about before. Now I have used 3 of them to make sentences. The first one says, the flowers grow in spring. Now you can see that I've used the word grow and the word spring to show that those were the 2 words we were given when we were doing our vocabulary words. The next one is, watch the trees' flowers as they blossom. Now this is a very beautiful event to watch the trees change color, their leaves, their beautiful flowers blossom. So I have used the word blossom. Now, don't forget, when you're going to be doing your sentences, you need to start with a capital letter at the beginning and a full stop at the end. So take your time, try and use these words as we go along in the week and have fun with them. I'll see you when you're done after the advert break.
Follow us on MyZone Facebook Active Kids to watch your daily lesson and other fun activities with Zoe and Zoshi.
Now, boys and girls, let us go to page 4 for the next part of our lesson. On page 4, we are going to be doing some computation. Now remember, we do multiplication and addition and subtraction and division. So we're going to learn how to add and subtract. But we've already done this. This type of adding and subtracting is when we borrow or when we carry on. So let's try and do one where we are adding and the other one where we are subtracting. Let's take a look at the board. Now we're going to do the first one that says adding, and let me choose a color that we can all see very clearly. I'm going to choose blue. So we are saying, let's read it together, 214 plus 179. So to break it down, we start with our units, which means these numbers here. And we say 4 plus 9. Now you can use counters, you can use the number line, you can even use your fingers, but your answer will still stay the same. 4 plus 9 gives us 13. So we can't write 13 because it's a 2-digit number and there's only space for 1 digit. So what do? We carry on. We ask the tens to carry the 1 for us and then we keep the 3. So we say here plus 1 and then the 3 comes here. So our 13 is there still. Now we move on to the next one, which says 1 plus 7. And 1 plus 7, we know, boys and girls, is 8. But we can't forget about the 1 that we got when we were doing our units. This is why it's called carrying on, because we're taking that 1 and now we're going to add it with our tens. So it's 1 plus 7, which will give us 8, plus the 1 we got, which will give us 9. So we are going to write our 9. And then the last part, 2 plus 1, we definitely know is 3. Our final answer is, let's say it together, 393. Good job, everyone. So don't forget, when you're carrying on, you must say plus 1 or plus whatever the digit is that you have decided to put up there. Remember, it's always the tens that moves and not the unit. Let's now move to the subtraction part. Our full sum says, let's read it together, 333 minus 219. So we have to subtract. And as like what we did before, we start with our units. We say 3 minus 9. But it can't, because remember, 3 is not bigger than 9. So for us to do this, we need to borrow. Now, this is where it comes into play. We go to the tens and we ask them for one of its tens. So our 3, after asking, changes into a 2. And then that 10 comes to the unit, changing our 3 into a 13. Now we can subtract. We say 13 take away 9. Now again, you can use your counters, your fingers, or you can draw sticks. Today, we're going to be drawing sticks. So we're going to say 9 is already there and we need to get to 13. So we say 10, 11, 12, 13. After drawing our sticks, it's important for us to count how many sticks we have. The number that we have will be the answer that we're looking for. Let's count our sticks. 1, 2, 3, 4. So now we know that 13 minus 9 will give us 4. Then we move on to the next one. Instead of saying 3 minus 1, we need to remember that we took 1 from 3. So now it is a 2. So we say 2 minus 1. And 2 minus 1, boys and girls, we definitely know is 1. So we're going to write our 1. And then the next one says 3 take away 2. And we also know that that one is 1. So our final answer is 114. So take your time, boys and girls. Remember, when we are adding, it's the method of carrying on. But if we are subtracting, it's the method of borrowing if we don't have enough. Make sure you say your sums out loud so that they make sense when you say them. When you're done with all that computation, we still have a lot of maths to do. This time on the next page, page 5. On page 5, we have a lot to do, but it's a lot of fun. So we're going to start by skip counting. Now, when we talk about skip counting, we are counting in that number. So we have been asked to count in 2s, in 3s, in 5s, and in 10s. We are going to count in 3s together. So let's take a look at the board so we can do a few. Now, when we start in 3s, we know that we have to hold up 3 fingers. 1, 2, and 3. Our answer is going to be on our thumb. So when we're counting, we say 1, 2, 3. So 3 is the first one. After that, the trick is you count on. So from 3, we now say 3 is already there, and then we say 4, 5, 6. So we know that the next number is 6. Now we say 6 is already there. We move on. 7, 8, 9. So we write our 9. Good job, everyone. Now I want you to do the next one with me, your 3 fingers. And then we say 9 is already there. So we're counting on. From 9, we say 10, 11, 12. Good job, everyone. So you're going to finish the rest by yourself. If you're counting in 5s, then that means your 3 changes to 5 and your answer will still be on your thumb. So take your time, count out loud when you're skip counting. When you're done with your skip counting, you move on to the next part of that exercise. The next part is asking us to fill in the missing number. But this time, instead of just filling in any number, we are going to be doing our times tables. So you can see for some, they have been giving us the beginning. Others, they have given us the end after the equal sign. We're going to do one of each so that we know what to do for both when one is missing at the beginning or in the middle, and when one is missing at the end. Let's take a look at the board. Now, I have 5 times dash equals 25. So that means that we have already been given our answer, which is 25. But that's not the missing number we're looking for. Instead, we are looking for our dash. And how do we find our dash? Well, it's very simple. We are going to share. We're going to share the 25 in 5 sets. So I already have my 5 sets on the board. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Now I'm going to share equally so that I can find out what is supposed to be on our dash. Whatever the answer is in each of our sets, that means it's the answer for the dash. So we're going to first share equally. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Let's count on 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Count on 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25. I have shared 25 equally. Now, for me to get my answer for the dash, I need to count what is in each set. It's the same thing that you're going to do if the dash was where the 5 was. So you count what is in each set if you're looking for either this dash or if there was a dash where the 5 is. So let's count what is in each set. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. There's 5 here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So each set has 5, which means our answer is 5. So 5 times 5 will give us 25. Now, what if it is the actual answer that's missing? It's simple. We still do the sets. Now here it says 9 times 4 equals dash. So we're going to find out what is supposed to be on our dash. How do we do that? By doing the same thing. We make sets of. So instead of saying times, we're going to say 9 sets of 4. Which means that each and every one of our sets that you can see, they are going to have 4 things in them. And then the number of sets are supposed to be 9. So first, let's check our sets. Do we have 9? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Now, 4 is what is supposed to be in each set. But today, instead of doing the dots like how I've shown you, I'm going to show you a different way. We're going to write 4 inside each set. Because remember, that's how many are supposed to be in each set. So if we write the number 4, we are able to calculate quicker. And again, we're going to be using our counting on method with our fingers. So we know that the first set has 4. We have our 4 fingers and we're going to continue. 4, count on, 5, 6, 7, 8. So we have counted for 2 sets. We are on number 8. Let's go. 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27, 28, 29, 30, 31, 32. Now we're going to count the last 4. From 32, we say 33, 34, 35, 36. So we know that 9 sets of 4 will give us 36. Now this one you can use if you are able to count and then cross out. It's a difficult one for those who are still learning how to count in groups. So if you know that this one has become easy for you, move on to the next one where you write the number, then you count using your fingers what is in each of the sets and crossing out as you go. Take your time with that one. And when you're done, you're moving on to the last part of this exercise. This time we're comparing and we're going to use the hungry crocodile. But the numbers have confused us because they're not just single numbers anymore. They are using the multiplications. So let's see how best we can answer the questions. So the one we're going to do together says 10 box 5 times 3. Now, the first thing that you're going to do, boys and girls, is find out what is 5 times 3. Now, you're going to draw your sets, and remember, it is 5 sets of 3. So, you first have to draw 5 sets. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. After drawing your 5 sets, you can either draw 3 dots or things inside or the number 3. I'm going to use the number 3. We have 3 in here, 3 in the next one, 3, 3, and 3. Now it's time to count and cross. First thing first, my 3 fingers are up. So I say 1, 2, 3. I have counted the first set. Now I need to count on 4, 5, 6. I've counted the second set. 7, 8, 9. I've counted 10, 11, 12. I've counted. Then the last one, 13, 14, 15. So I now know that 5 sets of 3 or 5 times 3 will give us 15. Now we have the final answer. This is the one that's going to now be compared to our 10. So we can now say which number is bigger. Is it 10 or 15? And we definitely know that 10 is not bigger. So our hungry crocodile is gonna swim and eat the 15 up. So he's going to face this way. Now it says 10 is smaller than 15. Take your time, boys and girls. I know it's a lot of work, but if you're smart, say it out loud. That's the first thing. And ask yourself what you need to do before you actually do it. If it is too difficult, you can always ask an adult for help. But I would like you to first try by yourself. Have fun, and I'll see you when we're done after the advert break.
Do you have children in the age range of 5 to 6 years and want to participate in our school booklet program? please contact us on 081 74 3759 and we will put you on our distribution list for the attention of pre-primary schools. Topics include family, summer, culture, traditions and houses, transport and communications, occupations, autumn, and more. We distribute countrywide in over 10 different languages.
Boys and girls, we are now done with our lesson, and I really hope you had fun. There are so many things to learn about spring. I want you to go out there and try and find more information about the season. So now that we are done with our lesson, I'd like us to please sanitize. Remember, if something is difficult for you or you're not sure what to do, that's okay. You can always ask an adult for help. But make sure you finish all your work by yourself. Make sure your hands are dry before you touch anything else. Sashi said he was going to come to play with me today because we're looking for flowers. Sashi? Oh, there he is. Are you ready to look for flowers in springtime? Wonderful. So, from Sashi and I would like to say thank you for joining us today, boys and girls, and goodbye.
Our online school will help you along the way. Find us at www.zoshi.online and download the booklet. Follow us on Facebook to never miss a video. Subscribe to our Zoshi Telegram channel if you want to receive daily updates. Proudly sponsored by the Ministry of Education, Arts and Culture, Namibian Community Trust, UNICEF, My Zone Online School, Amos Meerkat Syllabus, and Capricorn Foundation.